Decolonize. It's a big word. Sounds important, sounds righteous, sounds like you're taking apart a bomb, but you gotta look at what they're actually doing. They're not taking apart the bomb, they're having a fucking committee meeting to redesign the label on the outside of it. You wanna know what colonization was? It wasn't a set of biases or perspectives, Jock. It was a man with a gun showing up at another man's house and saying, "This is my house now. Your wife is my wife now. Your gold is my gold now. And your God is wrong." It was a physical act. It was blood and steel and theft on a scale that broke the world. It was about taking things, land, resources, bodies. It wasn't a mindset, it was a fucking home invasion that lasted 500 years. Now, you got these new people, soft hands, clean clothes, talking about decolonizing a bookshelf or a university curriculum or a company's HR policy. You see the switch? They took a word that describes a violent, physical crime, and they turned it into a word about feelings and ideas. It's the greatest bait and switch of all time. It's like a man who's been stabbed is lying on the ground bleeding out, and the doctor, instead of stitching up the wound, wants to have a long conversation about the problematic nature of knives. The conversation is not the cure. The conversation is the anesthetic they give you so you don't notice you're still bleeding. Look at the world. Look at the real world, not the one on Twitter. The wealth of the old empires is still in their banks. The resources of the old colonies are still flowing in the same direction, just with different contracts now. The power structures didn't disappear, they just put on a new suit and learned some new words. You think the World Bank gives a shit about a land acknowledgement? You think a hedge fund that owns the mineral rights to half a continent is worried because you renamed the building? It's a performance, a ritual to make the people who live in the stolen house feel better about the fact that they're never, ever going to give it back. And it's become a new industry, a new priesthood. You got these DEI consultants and decolonization experts, and what do they sell? They sell absolution. For a fat fee, they'll come into your corporation, run a workshop, teach everyone the new holy words, and declare your company cleansed of its sins. The company gets a certificate, the consultant gets a check, and the assembly line in a country you can't pronounce on a map keeps running, making sneakers for 6 cents an hour. Nothing changes. In fact, it gets stronger because now the system has a moral shield. It has purchased its own innocence. But here's the deepest, darkest part of the whole goddamn thing. They've turned the struggle inward. They've convinced people that the real battle is inside their own heads. Decolonize your mind, they say. So now you got millions of people spending all their energy hunting for the ghost of the colonizer in their own thought. Am I thinking a colonial thought? Is my desire for a nice car a colonial desire? It's a maze with no exit. It's a self-flagellation that never ends. And while you are busy purifying your own soul, looking for sin in every corner of your own mind, the real motherfuckers who own the world are laughing their asses off. They got you fighting a ghost in your own attic so you never come downstairs and see them carting all the furniture out the front door. So what's the truth? The real truth is, this whole decolonize everything movement as it exists today is not a threat to the old power. It's the most sophisticated defense the old power has ever invented. It's an inoculation. They've taken the pure, world-breaking range of the truly dispossessed and they've channeled it into a safe, endless intellectual game of symbols and words. It's a revolution that happens entirely in a seminar room. It's a war where the only casualties are cancel speakers and the only territory won is a new department at a university. They didn't stop the revolution, they fucking hired it. They gave it an office and a pension plan, and they've created a generation of activists who think the most radical thing you can do is change a word in a book, while the machine that broke the world in the first place just keeps on grinding, completely untouched.